What is going on, YouTube? You're on the lifeboat. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. We're going to talk about the diddler today. I came across some interesting, some thought-provoking things on the internet, and I thought I'd share them with you. I think it's a take that I haven't seen yet. In fact, we're going to talk about a bunch of takes that I have seen that are really bugging me. I get it, but man, it's anyways, we'll get into it. But welcome in. This is going to be a different sort of morning boat today. I'm really excited to share it with you. Thanks for showing up. Marcy Pokes, hello, hello. Lacey Silver, Tina Marie, the nurse who loved me. I love that song. Lacey Silver in the house. Roberta, seventh son. Been a while, brother. How you been? Flick Fox, Tina Marie, Kristen Kruger. Heck yeah, guys. I was watching... Can't remember who it was. Probably one of the channels that I watch, right? Obviously. And in fact, I've seen this all over the place. It certainly seems that the general opinion is that people knew what they were getting into when going to the Diddy parties. Now, wrap your brain around that for a second. And these aren't trolls saying this. These are people actually believe that, quote, they knew what they were getting into. Did they know that they were going to get that word that starts with an R and rhymes with nape? Did they know they were going to get drugged? Did they know they were going to be in a movie that wasn't going to be in theaters? I don't think so. That's not consent. That's not consent. Going to a party is not consent for anything. And I just want to make that clear. And again, these are not trolls that I hear saying this. I see this all over the place. Educated people, well-to-dos, just kind of looking down their nose, or maybe they're not even thinking about the fact that they're looking down their nose, but that's what it is, looking down your nose at people going to a Diddy party. And it's like, I'm not a big fan of the Diddy parties. That's not what I'm trying to say. But if I wanted to go to one, I'm not signing up for assault. I'm not signing up for drugging, and I'm not signing up for, being filmed. Just saying. I think it's quite astounding to me, and it bothered me so much I had to come do this morning instead of I forgot what I was going to do because I got so riled up. But we were going to do a different boat today, but I keep seeing this and it really bugs me. The faith that people have in their fellow man, or maybe it's the lack of just a serious lack of empathy for victims, for people that are victims, right? You guys picking up what I'm laying down here? Lacey Silver says, so I have a question. If the Young Thug YSL RICO case is being shown on court TV, why wouldn't Diddy's? That is a great question. And it might be a matter of airtime. It might be, I don't really know the answer to that. But the Diddy thing is it in? I don't think they're in court. He's in jail, right? They may televise it when it gets to that point. They televised the Johnny Depp one. Remember that? The Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, which was my dad's really the guy to talk to when it comes to the differences between federal and state and this and that, because he went through all of that. But that is a great question. I'm going to see if I can find out so I can answer it tomorrow, I guess. I am not sure about this. I Live For Now. Live For Now says Young Thug trial is a state case, I thought. It's also a RICO trial, so I don't know if that instantly makes it federal, but Nancy says feds don't televise their trials, which is probably pretty intelligent of them. A lot of the methods that they employ when prosecuting are pretty underhanded, and one might call it cheating, but it's their game. They get to make the rules, right? YSL is a state case, says Carmen Girl. Well, I haven't done a ton of research on that. It's really hard to watch. It's very dry. The witness statements and the witness, it's hard to listen to. Everything about it is difficult. I don't think they're going to get very far with that as far as the YSL case goes. Johnny Depp was a civil state case. No, it's instantly federal for sex trafficking, says Miss Constitutional Rights. Well, we've got a lot of different opinions in the building, and I'm not prepared to set you straight because I don't know. But my dad will later today, I tell you what. But yeah, people. If you go to a party, are you consenting to anything at all? Let's be real here. The next time someone says that, I want you to tell them, like, hey, these are victims. Okay, just because they went to a party doesn't mean they deserve to get drugged, essayed, videotaped, blackmailed, beat up. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Holy crap. Holy crap. I don't mean to shout in the morning, but this is how we're starting my day today. I'm pretty sick of hearing it, pretty sick of seeing it. Tommy said it won't be televised. The revolution never is. Okay, sounds good, DeAudrey Gore. He knows. He definitely knows. His is higher than the Jeffrey Epstein case. I find that hard to believe, but I mean, he is more of a household name, that's for sure. There's a lot of people in chat today. Aaron Cooper, welcome in. Nat B from Canada. Katie did. Did Katie? Robin Miners, good morning. Yeah, let's kick this hump day's arse. I agree. Hill hath no fury, good morning. Are the people you're referring to of a similar socioeconomic background? To me or to Diddy is the question. And the people that I'm hearing say this are people that are doing shows on it, people that are on YouTube, people that are on the news, people from, you know, whatever socioeconomic background. It seems to be the general consensus that they knew what they were getting into. And that just bothers me so much. That's the exact opposite. I thought I saw a bug on my screen. That's why I did that. That is the exact opposite of love. That's the exact opposite of empathy. That's some cold schniat. You know, that's some really ugly stuff right there. Those are ugly words. With gang ties like Diddy. Not only gang ties, but mafia ties, right? States will get their pound of flesh after the feds get theirs. Absolutely. Best believe the state is lining up. They're waiting patiently. 100% believe that, Seventh Son. Kristen Melinda, what's going on? What's going on? Thank you for expressing support for victims, Calhoun. It means a lot. Dude, that's like the only thing that I hear when I turn on the Diddy stuff. And with the exception of my dad, obviously, right? But and maybe it's selective hearing, and I'm just listening to the stuff that bothers me a lot, but it keeps jumping out of the screen, jumping out of the speakers at me. And I had to say something. So I thank you for thanking me. It makes me feel validated for coming on and ranting. I don't really like to keep it chill, but can't really do that right now. Katrina Schaff, hello, welcome in. Laura, these people are victims. They did not ask to be drugged and taken advantage of. Right? Come on. Amen, right? I feel like this is simple, obvious, common sense, basic human gratitude, not gratitude, just goodness, basic human goodness, right? And that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing these people knew what they were getting into. That statement is from a place of insecurity, first of all, but they either don't have empathy or they wish they were that person or something. They wish they could have gotten into the party. It's that statement is born from a lesser emotion, right? Like anger, or I don't know if I want to start rating emotions, but from like guilt, like anger, like insecurity, insecure emotions. That statement is not born from any sort of wholesome, empathy of any sort. And I don't want to take these people's inventory, but I know upon hearing that statement that this person is not in love. This person is not in their joy. This person is not, they're just expressing cold cyborg thinking, just machine thought. Terrible stuff. Don Ariahi says they want the clicks. Also, victims never get the live that perps do when they are famous. This is true. And that, I think, is the part that sickens me the most. Everybody jumps on the train and wants to say how bad of a person Diddy is. Like, we know, I get it. I knew after the first video, right? And I'm sure you guys do too. But that bothers me a lot. That's probably one of the struggles I have getting into true crime is I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a part of that. But I tell you what, there is definitely always a juxtaposition, right? A counterpoint, a other perspective that is often being missed. So maybe there is hope for me doing true crime yet. Young Thug is a state case, says Diana. He's accused of violating the Georgia RICO statute. Oh, word. Well, that makes a whole lot of sense right there. I'm not entirely sure what the charges for him are. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with a weapon. It has something to do with. I should look it up again. I have spent quite a bit of time watching this trial, and I know nothing about it. That should tell you a whole lot about the way it's going. I don't think that I don't think anybody in that courtroom's having any fun. It's pretty whack. It's pretty slow, and you can't even understand what the witnesses are saying unless you're unless you grew up in a bad neighborhood. You know what I mean? Unless you've spoken to people like that before on a regular basis, it's very difficult to understand what they're saying. And I can manage some because I this, that, and the other, but it's I don't want to have to sift through the audio as well as this, that, and the other. So I do want to know what happens, and I do want to cover that trial, but it is grueling. It's a grueling thing. I actually, Deaudrey, I agree most trials are pretty boring, but this is exceptional. This is a special case for sure. It's not your normal run-of-the-mill boring. I watched pretty much 100% of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, which was weird. I've never done that. I've never watched a trial before. Even there's been big trials in my lifetime, but that one just piqued my interest. The nature of it was strange. It seemed like a big cash grab for popularity, and it also seemed like the whole thing seemed wild to me, so it was very interesting. But the YSL one is exceptionally boring. Exceptional. Danette McClure, good morning. Jason P, hello. Crafty Witch, Carmy Girl. Carmy Girl says, maybe my algorithm is set up right. I'm not seeing as much victim blaming as we usually do. CNSA cases. Well, I'm grateful for that, right? I'll take it. I will take it when I can get it, right? Sometimes the algorithm gods smile upon us. Morning, Danette. I am doing very well today. I told you guys I made a new friend when I was camping. We're going to go have brunch because I'm doing it at 10:30. We're going to go have brunch this morning. So I'm going to go hang out with my new friend. I can't really afford breakfast, but I'm not going to turn down the company. So I'll probably just, get something cheap because I think it would be a mistake to reschedule. But anyways, let's see. I have something written down for this as well. Yeah, that's not consent. I also read or heard, I can't remember where this information came from, but someone that was basically of the position that they knew what they were getting into. One of these people, I heard them say, or something of that nature, these people going into the Diddy parties, that these victims were told upon entering or before entering, you're going to drink from this bottle only. And then the person proceeded to say that they knew what they were getting into. You're going to drink from this bottle only. What does that mean? Well, first off, that's not consent either. That's 100% not consent. That is fishy. Don't get me wrong, that is fishy. But are you consenting to be drugged, assaulted, beat up, this, that, and the other? No, you're absolutely not. Maybe that's a little fishy. Obviously, I don't think that I would be super kosher with that, but that doesn't mean that these people are victims. I can't say that enough. These people are victims and we should be kind to them. We should have some empathy, and we should be grateful it wasn't us. You know what I mean? Most of the time I can say it could easily have been one of us, but I don't think any of us are making it to a Diddy party. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, which is a good thing, obviously. Maybe before all this stuff came out, we didn't know that was a good thing, but now we know. Victim blaming is happening in the chats mostly. You know what's really funny about that? When you are in the chat and you don't have a face or an address or a phone number, it's people really like to wild out on the internet, and it's something that I'm very familiar with. I grew up with the internet, right? It's been a part of my life as long as I can remember. But I always wonder, is that ever going to fade out? Is the urge to oh, now I don't have to take responsibility for anything. Is that excitement that, oh, is that ever going to fade for people? Or are people always going to use that opportunity to be a piece of crap? Because I mean, obviously not everyone does that, right? So it's not that as big as I made it sound just now, but I wonder sometimes, will that fade out? Will people lose the drive to be a jerk behind a computer? I think part of the issue is really regulating one's emotions, or the lack thereof, right? Lori Abs, good morning. Carla Norris, pardon me, my tongue is tied today. Lacey Sober says, here in Canada, we do not have many school shootings. We have a lot of those here in the States, I have to say. Yeah, that could be just not wanting to share germs, says Kristen Melinda, right? Or maybe like this is your personal bottle. They're trying to make you feel special. Like who knows like how that was worded, right? That could be taken so many different ways. But regardless, like I think I need to do a show on consent because everything I'm talking about is consent based right now. Like this is not consent. What is consent? Well, maybe we should define it, right? Consent is permission. Consent is I want to do this. I'm willing to do this. Consent is saying like yes, basically. And there's a saying where I come from, and the saying is consent is sexy. Consent's very, very important, and I think that it's lost on a lot of people. I definitely feel like maybe it's the people that I hang with, or maybe it's just my circle or whatever. But I definitely feel like there's a whole lot more consensual awareness. Is that the right way to say that? There's a lot more awareness about consent these days. I don't know if it's like that everywhere, but I definitely feel like it wasn't how it is now a while ago. And I'm grateful for that. But I definitely feel like we should do a show on consent because consent is explicit and specific. It's not general, right? I'm down for anything. That's not consent. Consent is, yeah, let's couple. Consent is, all right, yeah, we could, pop some uppers and some downers. Consent is explicit language. This is what I'm down for. All right. And obviously this isn't a consent show, but we will be doing a show on consent. I think it's necessary. Obviously, it sounds silly, right? Consent, like everybody knows what that is. Well, obviously a bunch of people don't. Because these people knew what they were getting into naturally, right? Yeah, it'll be great, wouldn't it, Arabian Bard? Good to see you, by the way. Donna, that shirt sounds hilarious. Flick, there's a t-shirt I want. It says, did I roll my eyes too loud for you? Yeah, I would buy, for sure. Just like if you're asleep, you cannot consent. If you're drugged, you cannot consent. Honestly, I don't like to be in a position like on a date or with with a woman when they're inebriated. I feel like what am I trying to say? I don't get consent when someone's inebriated, right? Even if they try to give it to me, I'm like, you know what? Why don't we just like unless we have rapport or something, if there's like some experiences to fall back on, I don't take that at all. We have to be of sober mind or whatever for me to feel good about it. And that's just my conscience. I don't think that happens to everybody, but that's also worth mentioning. Consent is given with a clear mind. I don't know if you've ever been to court, but they ask you, are you of clear mind? I can't remember the exact wording, but basically they're asking you like, yo, are you high right now? Like, can you understand the proceedings? We don't want to get through this whole thing and then it comes out that you were in some weird state of mind. So they always ask at the beginning, could you understand what's going on here? Are you of sound mind? Blah, blah, blah. These people, if they're drugged, if they're drunk, if they're this, that, the other, they're not of sound mind to give consent, period, in my opinion. Yeah, Ann Brown raises a great point here. I've seen a few going off on Justin Bieber to speak out, but they need to realize all victims will only speak up when they are ready. He was a minor dealing with depraved adult actions. I've heard it said that in order to criticize a work of art, you should have to release your own and then stand on it first, right? And I think that people that are saying, like, bugging him to speak out, like, are they victims? Have they spoken out? Do they have any idea what this guy's going through? Do they have any idea what it feels like to be Justin Bieber right now? To be, a victim of Diddy right now that it's all in the news? I don't think that they have any friggin' idea. And when people say things like this, I can tell immediately that they have no idea what they're talking about, right? It's rude. It's just rude. People are mongering, drama mongers. They just want more food for their brainstem. They just want a little more drip drop. Have a great day, Dale. I didn't see you up there but yeah, man, I hope you have a great day. It's good to see you. Marjan, good morning. Consent is conscious, voluntary, and unambiguous decision to engage in an activity. Wow, your words are so good, Catalina. It's based on an understanding of what the action involves, its likely consequences, and the option to say no. Absolutely. This is all-encompassing right here. Consent can be revoked at any time. Thank you very much for the support, Catalina. I needed that. I did not have the words, I have to say. Faith W, hello, hello. How do you feel about your dad saying he trafficked and sold date rape drugs? I don't like it. I don't like it, but I knew this. I know who my dad is. It's not lost on me who he was and who he is now and this, that, and the other, right? There are a lot of things that my dad says on the internet that make me very uncomfortable, but it's not for me to decide. You know what I mean? That's for him to decide. And I support him. And, if I notice something that maybe I think he's overlooking, I'll call him and be like, hey, have you thought about this? I'll try to give him a little perspective from another side, which he really appreciates, I think. But I hate that actually. But, it's the truth. It is what it is. And this is what we do. We tell the truth. We share our experience. That's what qualifies him to come on the show. That's one of the many things that qualifies him to speak on. That's life experience that a whole lot of people don't have, and I'm not saying that you should go out there and get this experience. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that, it does have that being a part of his past isn't all bad because now he gets to do this, which is cool. But no, it really bothers me. It bugs me. Zaphod Beeblebrox, Mr. President, good to see you. You can ask me if I'm of sound mind all you want. My answer will always be yes, no matter what state I'm in. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I have a question. Can you guys notice a difference in sound, video, my internet? Is it smoother? Is it rougher? Is there any noticeable difference at all? And don't look for one, right? If you haven't noticed already, there's probably not a difference. But I figured it would be a fun thing to ask. Is there anything different about, and I don't mean the background or like, is there anything out of place, but is my thing running smooth? Because I upgraded my computer and this thing I should paint flames on the side of it. It's fast. Aquarius, yeah, good morning. Good to see you. Wharton Thistle, Spanx, you're very understanding and loving of your dad. Good on you. Wharton, I feel like this demeanor that I have is from going through so much crap. Like the life just kept heaping the poop on me, just shovel and shovel and shovel. And I really had to learn to take it with a smile. I really had to learn to look at things from a different perspective. Otherwise, I'm going to be unhappy literally all the time. And I was for a very long time. And that festered and turned into anger, which turned into rage, which turned into suffering. Shout out to Master Yoda. But this is something I had to learn to be this way. Very smooth and clear today, Cap, says Tina. Well, thank you. I'm glad it's working out. I tested it out playing this game that my computer doesn't do very well, and it was perfect. It was amazing. It was like I learned how to snowboard on a big Mercedes-Benz of a board, way too big for me, and it was like a hand-me-down. But for years, this was the snowboard I would use, and I got pretty good. I could go real fast down the hill. I'm a pretty good snowboarder. And I finally invested in like a new setup, like a decent setup that was like right for me. I was a pro that day. Learning on a piece of crap and then putting on something nice was like all of a sudden I went up like 3 levels. And I definitely feel like that's what I've done with my computer. Sharon Dixon says, I have been following the trial in Mazan where the husband drugged his wife so that neighbors could come and, oh my, 55 people are on trial. A further 28 could not be ID'd from the films. I didn't know about this. That's frightening. I feel like I would kill that guy. I don't know if I can say that on the internet, but yeah, I would take his head off. I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. TKK, good to see you. That's the truth you only know, says Ann Brown. You only know the truth about certain subjects when you've actually experienced it. Good, bad, and ugly. Absolutely. And that goes to show you, if you're going through a rough time, if something terrible happens to you, I know it's kind of crappy to hear. There's always a silver lining. It's not really what you want to hear, but at the very least, you have an experience. You have a perspective that empowers you, right? It's going to be rough walking through the fire, but on the other side, you'll be able to look back and you'll be stronger. And you might even be able to use that story or that experience to enrich others' lives or even your own, maybe, right? I always try to look at hardship that way. And that's another thing that really helps me out, I have to say. That's pretty much all I have to say about Diddy. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot, right? Like, these people are victims. No, they didn't know what they were getting into. If I hear that again, I'm gonna keep calm and chive on. No, for real, I'm really sick and tired of hearing that. If you guys hear that, just gently tell them like, hey, these are victims. Please be kind. These people did not consent to anything. I'd appreciate that. Obviously you don't have to do so, but I think if we all do one good thing today and every day, the world will be a better place, right? Sometimes those opportunities will pop up like, oh, I could do this right now and that would be good. And then we let them slip away because we're like not in the mood or, well, I'm just chilling right now. Well, I tell you what, if you just jump on that moment and just do that thing you're thinking about doing real quick, it'll make your life better and it'll enrich others as well. Just that one little moment has ripples that can be felt very, very widespread, have ramifications that you can't even begin to understand. The butterfly effect is massive, massive. So if you feel like speaking up, please do so. It does seem like it'll be big for consent. If this goes to trial, I want to see. I don't know what the deal is with it, but I'm going to have to look it up and check it out. I know Surviving Together. That's our very own TKD, I believe. If not, I get them mixed up. We have a lot of ripples. I feel like I might have got that name wrong. It's okay. I know who that is. Treat everyone as if you leading another life. Treat everyone as if it's you leading another life. Yes, the golden rule in a different universe. Comes down to love. That's right. This channel is about connection. If you're new here, before I get out of here, if you're new here, we are about connection. We're an anti-addiction channel, not an anti-drug channel, right? So we believe the opposite of addiction is connection. So we get together twice a day, sometimes more, obviously, right? And we talk about relevant stuff. Maybe it's something in the news today. Maybe it's a forward-thinking topic like consent, right? Or boundaries or intentions. These things that we take for granted that are actually very, very important principles of the world that we live in, at the very least. If you're new here, or if you're not, hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. If you like what we do here, it certainly makes a difference. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Surviving Together was TKD. Thank you. I have to stop putting myself on the spot and just make a list or something so that I never screw this up again. It's embarrassing every time because I feel pressure to know, even though I guess that's unrealistic, right? But yeah, guys, thanks for showing up. This has been The Lifeboat with Calhoun. Check out the Admiral later today. He's probably going to be doing a million things on a million different channels. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the morning. Much love, everyone. This is Captain Calhoun. Out. Leave me a comment.